So with the upcoming release of Eula to Genshin Impact in a matter of days, for those of us who intend to roll for her, or perhaps may be enticed by the 4-star content of her banner, a bit of preparation may be in order. Hello and welcome to Whale Stat. I am Slice of Otaku, and here is everything you will need to prepare for Eula. With Eula being a cryo character, we'll need a bunch of Shivada Jade for her various levels of ascension. For the first ascension, that is 1 Jade Sliver. To touch level 50, we will need 3 Jade Fragments. This then becomes 6 Jade Fragments for level 60, 3 Jade Chunks for level 70, 6 Jade Chunks for level 80, and finally, level 90 if you are so inclined, being 6 Gemstones. The most dependable drop locations for these being the Cryo Regisvine and the Cryo Hypostasis, the latter of which being a superior source in relation to this character in particular for her level up material, which we will get into. However, with the introduction of the Dust of Azoth, the conversion of gems is a possibility if you are ever lacking, but wealthy elsewhere. But getting back to the Cryo Hypostasis, we are hunting for Crystalline Bloom. Now, as it currently stands, beyond upgrading Eula, there is no reason to target this boss as no other characters use this ascension material. This boss was added into the game with update 1.5, and so for the time being is limited in regards to overall impact. Hopefully this changes as we receive more cryo characters in the future, but that has yet to be substantiated. But anyways, for character ascension 2, we will need 2 of these things. 4 at ascension 3, 8 at ascension 4, 12 at ascension 5, and 20 at ascension 6. That is a total of 46 if you want to take her all the way to level 90, which will require a maximum of 23 fights against this thing. That is 920 resin, which may be naturally accumulated in just a bit over 5 days. If you are taking her to level 80, however, you will need 26 of these things for a maximum of 13 fights or 520 resin, which is just under 3 days of natural accumulation. You need 14 for level 70 with a maximum of 7 fights or 280 resin, which is around a day and a half of natural accumulation. Beyond this, the foliage required for Eula's ascension are dandelion seeds. And I will be honest, I have never taken the collection of this resource seriously. These days, I don't usually have an animal character on the team to acquire them, and frankly, for the longest time, I had no idea this was how you collected them. Furthermore, prior to Eula, they were only really useful for Jean's ascension. And considering I have thus far left my Jean untouched, I've never had a reason to hunt for these things. But after what they have now put me through, I will at least make it a habit to collect the ones that grow in front of Mondstadt. For Ascension 1, we will need 3 of them. For Ascension 2, we will need a total of 13. For Ascension 3, we will need a total of 33. For Ascension 4, we will need a total of 63. For Ascension 5, we will need a total of 108. And for Ascension 6, we will need a grand total of 168. You can get a good amount of these things per day, so hopefully it's not too troubling for you. In regards to monster materials, we need the Mask of Hilichurls, and unless you've been using these on other characters or weapons, in theory you should have a whole lot of these things lying around from your various exploits. But in the event that you do not, use your Adventurer's Handbook to hunt down and slaughter these guys. Really and truly, they are so numerous that most of you won't even need to look for this all that much. But even still, for Ascension 1 we need 3 damaged masks, for Ascension 2 we'll need 15 more of those. For Ascension 3, we need 12 stained masks, then additionally 18 of those for Ascension 4. At Ascension 5, we need 12 ominous masks, and then 20 more than that for Ascension 6. When it comes to Mora, we are looking at 20,000 for Ascension 1, a total of 60,000 for Ascension 2, a total of 120,000 for Ascension 3, a total of 200,000 for Ascension 4, a total of 300,000 for Ascension 5, and a grand total of 420,000 at Ascension 6. For world level 6 through 8, that is 7 ley lines or 140 resin to be prepared for level 90, which isn't bad at all. When it comes to Eula's talents, we need resistance books, which are available on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. We'll also need a few more masks. To level a talent to level 6, we will need 21 guides and 22 stained masks total, along with 3 teachings, 6 damage masks, and 122,500 Mora. If you're planning on taking your talents past that level, then you're going to want to fight Ajdaha and hope for some Dragon Lord's crowns, or the Dream Solvent to convert to them. As far as artifacts go, the Pale Flame set was pretty much made for this character, so we will be farming that to Oblivion. I have run this domain so many times and still, my artifacts for it are pretty lackluster. As it currently stands, being a character whose progression is heavily dependent on new additions to the game, Eula is to me a bit more expensive than your typical unit. It's not as if she requires things that we may have accumulated in our time previously. From her boss material, to her weekly boss material, to her artifacts, these are all new things which make her a bit more of a steep pickup. If you really want to build her up, you'll do it regardless, but I think that is worth keeping in mind. Now, if you also plan on picking up her signature Claymore weapon, the Song of Broken Pines, first and foremost, good luck to you. Weapon banners are notoriously evil. But if you are so lucky, you will need the Caribbean pieces, Mid-Churl horns, and more Hilly Churl masks for weapon ascension. That's 5 tiles for Ascension 1, 5 debris for Ascension 2, 9 more tiles for Ascension 3, 5 fragments for Ascension 4, 9 more fragments for Ascension 5, and finally 6 scattered pieces for Ascension 6. Moving on to horns, you will need 5 heavy horns for Ascension 1, 18 more of those for Ascension 2, 5 black bronze horns for Ascension 3, 18 more of those for Ascension 4, 14 black crystal horns for Ascension 5, and 27 more of those for Ascension 6. For the masks, we need 3 shattered for Ascension 1, 12 more for Ascension 2, 9 stained for Ascension 3, 14 more for Ascension 4, 9 ominous for Ascension 5, and 18 more of that for Ascension 6. When it comes to Mora, we are looking at 10,000 for Ascension 1, a total of 30,000 for Ascension 2, a total of 60,000 for Ascension 3, a total of 105,000 for Ascension 4, a total of 160,000 for Ascension 5, and a grand total of 225,000 for Ascension 6. And besides a credit card, that just about covers everything you will need to prepare for Eula. But what do you guys think? Is she worth the trouble? And do you plan on rolling for her at all? Let us know down below. And while you're at it, if you found this video to be helpful at all, be sure to subscribe to WhaleStat with notifications on to keep diving into this game that we all enjoy together. I have been your host, Slice of Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.